What's up YouTube? It's TL Jev. Welcome back to the channel. Today we're showcasing Juice's 6'7" lockdown build for the Pro-Am. If you've watched any of our content, any of our gameplay, this guy is a monster. Probably one of the best lockdowns in the whole game, not even close. Gets passing lane steals, gets blocks, gets plucks on ball, can shoot fades, can dunk. His build can do it all. As you see, he's wreaking havoc on these poor little point guards. Man, y'all gotta make this build. Let's get straight into it, man. Alright, so hopping straight into the build, as you can see, it is 6'7", the weight is 198, wingspan 7'4", body shape is defined. I didn't show the previous section, but this is made at the point guard spot. You can put it at the 2, you can put it at the 3, it's kind of up to you. The only reason I chose point guard is just it makes the grinding in my career a little bit easier because you can call plays and pick and roll and stuff like that. So, but you can make it at any of those positions. You know, if you've seen any of my build videos in the past, we usually do a must-have attributes section. We're actually going to skip that today. We're going to try something a little bit different. Right before we get into the badges later in the video, we're going to do a pros and cons section of this build. I think that's kind of a cool little idea. We're going to try it out. If y'all missed the must-have attributes section, let me know. I can always bring it back. They're really easy to make. But I just wanted to try something a little bit different this time. So that's the plan moving forward for this video. We will discuss the attributes a little bit. Obviously, I want y'all to know why this build is good, what makes it so good, the attribute caps that I was shooting for, but at least as far as the whole little chart and table, we're going to skip that just for this video. Anyways, let's get straight into the attributes. Alright, so getting into the attributes and the badges, as you can see we have 16 finishing, 17 shooting, 7 playmaking, 29 defense, and then we have 87 speed, 78 excel, 70 strength, 75 vertical, and then we have 95 stamina. The most important things to this build are your 87 speed, 99 steal, 97 perimeter defense, at least 75 pass accuracy, 83 3 ball, at least an 84 driving dunk, and then a 70 standing dunk. This build is everything you need to be for a lockdown and also still have very consistent offense for your team. Obviously the playmaking is low. We're not really trying to dribble. We're not trying to pass super often. We are not the point guard. We are a lockdown. Our main job is to lock down the other team's point guard. The 87 speed on this build is super valuable. I wouldn't go anything lower. Make sure you have that max speed. Chasing 6'1" and 6'3" point guards is only possible with high speed. The more you touch LT, the worse off you're going to be. You're going to have to really be chasing and sprinting after these guards. That's just kind of the nature of this game. At the beginning of the year, it wasn't really like that, but new dribble moves have come out. These guards are kind of locking in. They're getting used to their dribble moves again. I know that we're at Season 6 now. We're at the point now where the people still playing this game are pretty dang good at it. So you got to have that high speed. 99 steal for that Hall of Fame glove. Still very valuable. Glove did get a slight bit of a nerf. You're not going to get many plucks against Hall of Fame Unpluckable, but Hall of Fame Glove versus Gold Unpluckable is still a monstrosity. You're going to get a ton of steals. We all know Interceptor is crazy. Clamps is decent. Clamp Breaker is a pretty good badge to counter this year. But Hall of Fame Challenger, super valuable on this build. You're going to be making people miss with any kind of contest. Super valuable. 75 pass accuracy is just for the LeBron pass style. I wouldn't go any lower than that. The biggest thing about this build that's super slept on, and it's a valuable skill that I don't see many lockdowns have, Silver Agent 3 with an 83 to 85 3 ball can be disgusting. If you've watched any of our Pro-Am content, you've probably seen our boy Juice go and shoot a fade out of the corner. He shoots very consistent from the corner just off his catch and shoot and spot ups. I would recommend catch and shoot, Claymore, Agent 3. Those 3 badges, super valuable. Juice is honestly someone that has changed my mind about what badge you should run here. The way he shoots his fades is so good. I don't think I would run Deadeye. I'd run Agent 3 so you can go shoot fades. He is that good. There's a lot of, I wouldn't say a lot, there's a handful of locks that can shoot very well with a low 3 ball like these guys can. So if you can pick up that skill and get good at it, it is going to be super valuable to your team, whether it's in Pro-Am or Rec. 86 driving dunk gets you gold limitless takeoff. You will need to put 1 badge into your finishing to have 17 for that gold limitless takeoff. 70 standing dunk, very important for a tall 6'7" lock. You're not always going to be getting a driving dunk, so being able to just kind of stop and sit underneath the basket and get a standing dunk is super nice. The rest of these stats, I'm not going to go super into detail about. We do have a little bit of rebounding. We've got a good block rating. Everything else is kind of just, it's up to you. You can kind of tweak things. 70 strength is not something that Juice has on his lockdown build. You could lower the strength, you could probably lower a couple things. He actually has an 85 3 ball on his build, so if you want to get the exact copy of his build and have the 85 3 ball, that's not something that I wouldn't recommend. I just kind of tweak some things to give y'all something a little bit unique, but still keep the style of his build intact. So here's the build. Hope y'all enjoy. We're going to show the pros and the cons, and then we're going to hop into the badges for this build. But first, I lied. We're going to show the takeovers. If you're a lockdown, run double perimeter badge drop. It's the best 2 takeovers in the game. If you want to be a little bit better shooter, throw on some sharp take in one of these secondary slots, but make sure your primary takeover is lockdown. Okay, the pros and cons are coming, I promise. But here's the build name and the shades. If you care about that, here it is, 3&D point. Now let's get into the pros and cons. Alright, so moving on to the pros and cons. As you can see, the main pros are, of course, the elite defense. I mean, we have 97 perimeter defense, 99 steal, 87 block. This build can guard the 1 through the 4 at a very elite level. We have some really nice contact dunks with that 86 driving dunk on this build. 87 speed is very, very good for a lockdown. Really fast speed, that high speed. Great spot up shooting, super important to have as a lockdown. And then you can add on to that with those agent 3s. If you can really get good with those fades, you can really make this build go crazy on offense. The cons, 0 playmaking. I know some people like to kind of have more of like a two-way slashing playmaker style where they kind of have some playmaking too. For our lockdowns on our team, we don't want our locks to have any playmaking. Not because we don't trust them to do that, but just because it makes sense to have all of your attributes into your defense, shooting and finishing, because that is your role as a lockdown. The rebounding is slightly low, which is not a huge deal on a lockdown, but I did want to point it out that there is some versions of a lockdown you can make that have like a 93 plus board. I don't think that's super important and super valuable on a lockdown, but I did want to point it out that that could be higher if you tweak some things. And then I know this kind of looks like it says 6'1", but it says the 6'7" is less flexible to guard the power forward and centers than a 6'9" lock. I think that the 6'7" can compete and contest with any power forward in this game at a pretty decent level, but at least as far as the centers go, a 6'9" lock is way better to guard bigs. The 6'7" is going to get kind of babied in the paint. Not terrible to the point where you should delete your build or anything, but the 6'9s are definitely better as far as the interior defense goes. But this build is mostly just designed to guard the perimeter, guard the guards, guard the catch and shooters. Doesn't really need to go to the paint super often. So a lot of these cons you could kind of say are not really cons, but I did want to point out the weaknesses of this build. Alright, so let's hop into the badges for the 6'7". Take everything I say with a grain of salt. If there's a badge you like running that you don't see on in any of these categories, 100% put it on. This is your build, make it your own. I'm just giving my recommendation of what I would want out of my lockdown to run on my Pro-Am team. The main thing here is Limitless Takeoff. As usual, any of my build videos, Limitless Takeoff is probably always going to be on. To me, it is the single most important badge for finishing in this game. As soon as you get this badge to silver, you really don't need it anything higher. Gold and Hall of Fame do trigger more animations consistently, but I think as long as you just have silver to unlock the quick drops, unlock the straight arm tomahawks from further away, this badge is your most important by far. Everything else kind of up to you. I run Silver Fearless, Silver Posterizer, Silver Aerial Wizard, Bronze Acrobat, and then Bronze Rise Up. Rise Up is very good for those standing dunks. Acrobat is kind of just a flex pick, put that wherever you want. Same for Aerial, you can kind of put this wherever you want as well. But I think Fearless and Limitless Takeoff are your 2 badges you should have on. Posterizer, you can use that or Slithery, totally up to you. Either one of these badges is going to be a nice consistent help to your finishing. So that is the finishing badges. Alright, so hopping into the shooting badges, Gold Catch and Shoot and Gold Claymore are kind of a staple for this build. Very important for catch and shoot in the corner or even on the lower hash, below the hash. Bronze Green Machine is decent. This is kind of a flex pick, put this wherever you want. Silver Deadeye or Silver Blinders, either one of these is really good. I recommend Deadeye personally in the corner, but if you like Blinders a little bit more, go for it. And then here's the flex pick with Agent 3. As I mentioned earlier, we have Juice on our team that can run up and shoot a fade after he leaves the corner. It is super deadly. A lot of times he has either a center on him or a small little PG. Either one of those has a problem in itself. Either the small PG can't contest him or the big can't keep up. And it's deadly. We will actually call plays and design movement to give him that shot. And he has an 85 3 ball from the corner. I mean, this is just such a cool niche little thing to have in your offense. So I really do recommend trying to get into your bag and learn that fade with your lot from the corner, or even to the corner. Either one of those is really deadly. All right, so hopping into the playmaking badges, there's not really much to run here. We're gonna go bronze bailout, bronze needle, gold break starter, bronze dimer, silver floor general. Bronze dimer is a nice little small boost to your teammates whenever you do pass it, and then silver floor general, just giving +2 to everyone, it's a small thing, but it can help throughout a span of games. So definitely run that for your team if you have the extra badges, which you will with this build. And especially if no one's running a floor general on your team anyways, you might as well give that boost to your teammates. So this is what I would run for the playmaking. All right, moving into the defensive badges, we're running Hall of Fame Challenger, Hall of Fame Clamps. We have Glove on Hall of Fame, and it's Cord. We have Silver Anchor, Hall of Fame Pick Dodger, Bronze Box Out Beast, and Bronze Workhorse. As you can see, I have +3 badges. If we're wanting to run 4 tier 3 badges, which you should probably want to, make sure you put at least +2 into your defense to get this badge on at least bronze. If you want even higher, you're going to need to put +3, +4, +5. I know not everyone is going to have +5 badges. I'm sure there's a handful of people that only have the +4s. They didn't hit level 39 any of the seasons. So kind of just use your own discretion. If you want to try to make sure you have all 4 of these tier 3 badges, you're going to have to put a handful of badges into this defensive category. And that's not even including if you do want to put 1 into finishing for your gold limitless takeoff as well. So just be careful with your badges. Make sure you put them in the right spots. Make sure the numbers line up, because you don't want to come into a scenario where you want to run a badge but you don't have enough points to run it. But anyways, that will conclude the badges. That will conclude the build. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, leave a like, leave a comment. All that stuff helps out the channel, helps out the algorithm. Y'all subscribe to the channel. More 2K content is going to continue to come out, especially with Season 6 dropping. We're going to be pushing out a lot of content, super heavy. Y'all check out some more of the content on the channel. There's going to be 2 videos that are going to pop up at the end in just a few seconds, so y'all check those out. It's TLM Jev, and I am out.